Call to order this regular meeting of the Mexico City Council.
Councilman Miller,
Yes.
Chairman Pro Tem Williams,
Yes.
Councilman Nichols,
Yes.
Councilman Lush,
Yes.
Mayor Miller,
Yes. First item for attention this evening is the approval of the minutes of the September 14th, 2015 regular session.
I move for approval of the minutes.
Second.
Councilman Miller,
Yes.
Chairman Pro Tem Williams,
Yes.
Councilman Nichols,
working.
Councilman Lush,
Yes.
Mayor Miller,
Yes. The first action item is a public hearing. A public hearing to consider a change to sanitary sewer use charge rates. I move to open the public hearing. Second.
Councilman Miller,
Yes.
Chairman Pro Tem Williams,
Yes.
Councilman Nichols,
Yes.
Councilman Lush,
Yes.
Mayor Miller,
Yes. Mr. Hayes?
Council, this is a notice of a public hearing that was advertised in the New Mexico Ledger, August 19th, 2015. This hearing is for purposes of discussing a rate increase proposal as follows. Based on 1,000 gallons usage, the user charge portion would go from $1.13 to $1.15. The capital charge portion would go from the current rate of $4.73 to $4.82. The base month rate would go from $8.40 to $8.57. Overall, this is a 2% rate adjustment. We would also be reviewing increasing our rate to users of the system that are not in the corporate limits. That current rate is 125% of the in-corporate limit rate, and we'd be looking at changing that to 150%. To provide the community a little background on our wastewater system improvements and changes in rate, we're going to give a little history. In February 2008, the City of Mexico retained the engineering services of Horner and Schifrin to complete a capital asset analysis and facility plan on the city's wastewater treatment operation. The following year, Horner and Schifrin made a presentation to council on their findings and recommendations. The study clearly revealed that our aging infrastructure, industrial pretreatment program, and modifications to the regulatory requirements mandated by the Department of Natural Resources for effluent limitations create an immediate need for an upgrade of our existing wastewater facilities. The facility planned an estimated $12,461,000 in capital improvements. On August 4th, 2009, voters approved through a bond election sewage system revenue bonds in the amount of $16 million by a passage of a 10-to-1 margin. Later that month, with applicable public hearings and voter approval for issuing revenue bonds, the City Council approved by ordinance an amendment to change sanitary sewer usage charges, providing the funding mechanism to get the needed capital improvements underway. With the wastewater treatment plant and facility collection system improvement plan phases in and a 10-year financial projection of wastewater rates supporting costs associated with operations, maintenance, and capital projects, staff moved forward and secured bond financing in the total amount of $11,450,000 for phases 1 and 2. In keeping with the 5-year financial projection that will be discussed this evening, a scheduled sewer rate adjustment is required to provide adequate financial resources for debt service and continued operation to the wastewater treatment facility and collection system. Staff recommends that council proceed with the advertised public hearing.
Move to open the public hearing.
Already done that.
Oh, okay.
And what I'd like to do from this point, council, is go over a brief PowerPoint for the benefit of our citizens that are here tonight. And I'll get where I can see what I put up here since it's pretty small and in font. Okay, when we look at rate adjustment considerations, we have to take the following expenditures into consideration. First, O&M, operating and maintenance. That's our daily operation and maintenance of the facilities and equipment. That would be both for our treatment facility and, of course, our collection system. Cash-funded capital expenditures, vehicles and equipment. And course, debt service obligations, payments on the revenue bonds that we have issued and made improvements with. And then finally, repair, renewal, and replacement of reserves. When you put in something new, it's going to age, and you can start setting back some money so that you can make those repairs and do some preventative maintenance. This does show our 2015-2016 cash-funded improvements, and what I mean by that are capital improvements. The middle column is highlighted at the top. I know it's difficult for anyone to read, but it shows that we are looking at funding in cash $709,500 in capital improvements. Two major items, of course, is $408,000 to wrap up the generator to be put out at the plant. That's a very important item because typically when you have bad storms, you can lose power, and of course, typically you could have heavy rains, and we want to be able to treat what comes into the facility so that it doesn't go into our streams untreated, and then also to protect all the equipment that we have out there so it doesn't have an immediate shutdown and then issues in the restarting process. And then, of course, $150,000 for our ongoing program in slip lining, and again, that is to reduce the I&I infiltration inflow from rains and other sources. This next year, along with the following 4 years, we have approximately $2.6 million worth of capital improvements identified that we'd like to pay for in cash rather than borrow the funds. Of course, as mentioned earlier, we do have annual debt service. Our annual debt service on an annual basis is running somewhere between $780,000 and $800,000 per year. And of course, that's for several years extended because we did take a 30-year loan on the part of the $11.5 million that we borrowed in loan. Wastewater operating fund, just kind of a snapshot. Our O&M, our operating maintenance, is approximately $1.7 million. We're going to have about $709,000 in capital projects that we're going to pay for in cash, and then we have a $783,000 debt service obligation this next fiscal year. So our total obligations are approximately $3,229,000. We're estimating with this 2% rate adjustment, we will bring in approximately $2,948,000. So with capital expenditures and debt service and O&M costs being more than what we're bringing in next year, we'll pull down our cash balance by approximately $282,000, but that is planned. We had built some cash in the prior year, and we will continue to build cash so that we can take care of our capital outlay issues with cash as much as possible so that we might can borrow funds. Rates. As in the original financial plan, we did not want to have an incredibly high rate increase when we first started doing this funding, so we tiered that out. Fiscal year 2013, we had a 12% rate adjustment, and 14 and 10%. Last year, the adjustment was 3%, which was below the original forecasted amount when set out for discussion back in 2009. This year, we're recommending 2%. Again, that is below the original amount that we forecasted back in 2009. For a user, approximately 5,000 gallons, their rate would go up about 73 cents per month. One of the things we often get asked when we're making adjustments in our pricing, how do we compare with others in the area? We most commonly get compared to Fulton, Hannibal, Moberly, and Marshall. Columbia gets pulled in now and then, but of course that's a horse of a different color. As you can see, on 5,000 gallons, we're estimating the cost to be about $38.48. Fulton is at $36.18, but I need to point out they have about $13 million worth of improvements to do. Marshall is currently at $40.25. They have tackled some of their improvements already. Moberly, $48.50. Again, they've tackled some of their wastewater issues already. You can see others are much higher than us, such as Odessa at about $77.24. Some are less on the residential side because they have elected to put more of the cost on the commercial side. In certain cases would be Osage Beach and Columbia and Jefferson City. And finally, within our bond rate covenants, it says that the city, in accordance with subject to applicable legal requirements, will fix, establish, maintain, and collect such rates and charges for the use of services furnished by or through the system as will produce revenue sufficient to pay the expenses of the system, pay the principal and interest on the bonds when they are due, and enable the city to have each fiscal year net revenues not less than 110% of debt service requirements for such fiscal year. If it is found that we do not meet that requirement, it says in any fiscal year net revenues are not less than hereinbefore provided, the city will immediately employ a consultant to make recommendations with respect to such rates and charges. A copy of the consultant's report and recommendations shall be filed with the city clerk and the purchaser and shall be furnished to any registered owner of the bonds requesting a copy of the same at the cost of such registered owner. The city shall, to the extent feasible, follow the recommendations of the consultant. We are reviewed annually by Standard & Poor's. One of the things they look at is our revenue stream for wastewater operations to make sure that we're meeting this coverage requirement. And of course, we have been able to do so. And of course, I'd be glad to answer any questions.
Council have any questions?
I guess on the bonds that's been issued, looks like this is the last year of the Phase 1 bonds, 2016.
Yes, sir.
And I guess we had, when we borrowed the money, the Series B, we actually had a payback schedule on that went up in fiscal year 17. So we really don't, by paying off those Phase 1 bonds, the Series A in B, the schedule on that also went up for 2017.
Right. The way these bonds were structured, the bonds that we're paying off this next fiscal year, of course, we're going to use our debt service reserve, which is set aside of about $61,000 to make that final payment. The bonds remaining, we've basically been paying interest on. Now that this first debt is paid off, we'll start paying principal on those particular bonds. So you can see that the payment stream is fairly steady, and it was structured that way so that we wouldn't have a payment shock in any one particular year.
Okay, thank you.
Chris? Any member of the public have anything they'd like to offer? Any questions? Concerns? Seeing none, I move to close the public hearing.
Second.
Councilman Miller?
Yes.
Chairman Pro Tem Williams?
Yes.
Councilman Nichols?
Yes.
Councilman Lesh?
Yes.
Mayor Miller?
Yes. The next item, under old business, an ordinance, second reading by title only and passage.
Council, the public hearing regarding the attached ordinance was held on September 14, 2015. As council is aware, staff has submitted the operating capital budget for the upcoming year, 2015-2016. Prior to the first reading consideration, council voted to amend the proposed budget to increase the city's contribution to $5,000 for the Mexico Optimist Youth Sports Program. Staff has made the adjustment in the upcoming budget year, and therefore staff recommends that council proceed with second reading by title only and passage approving the 2015-16 operating capital budget for the City of Mexico.
Okay, I move for second reading of bill number 2015-50 by title only.
Second.
Councilman Miller,
Yes.
Chairman Pro Tem Williams,
Yes.
Councilman Nichols,
Yes.
Councilman Lush,
Yes.
Mayor Miller,
Yes.
Bill number 2015-50, an ordinance revising the budget for the City of Mexico, Missouri for the fiscal year October 1, 2014 to September 30, 2015 inclusive, and adopting the budget for the fiscal year October 1, 2015 to September 30, 2015 inclusive, appropriating the funds as allocated to various accounts and authorizing the expenditure of such funds by the city manager and other officials for the purpose indicated as amended. I move for passage of bill number 2015-50.
Second.
Councilman Miller,
Yes.
Chairman Pro Tem Williams,
Yes.
Councilman Nichols,
Yes.
Councilman Lush,
Yes.
Mayor Miller,
Yes. Okay. The next item under new business, bill number 2015-51, an ordinance amending Chapter 14, Article 3, Division 4, Section 14-123 of the Mexico City Code relating to the sanitary sewer use charges. Two readings by title only and passage. Mr. Haynes?
Council, a public hearing was held earlier this evening to give both the background and future planning information for necessary capital improvements to the wastewater treatment facility and collection system. Staff recommends a 2% rate adjustment beginning with the October billing, and also users of the utility collection system that are located and/or deliver sewer flow from outside the city's corporate limits shall be billed at a rate of 150% of the rates established for users within the city corporate limits. Unless council has any other questions or items to be answered, staff recommends that council proceed with two readings by title only and passage of the attached ordinance. This ordinance has been posted the required length of time.
I guess this was scheduled way back when the rate schedule was set up. This was supposed to have been 3% for 2016, but it's been rolled back to 2% since we didn't do the additional borrowing. Is that correct?
That is correct. This will be the second year that we've actually reduced the rate adjustment compared to the initial analysis.
So we've saved the consumers at least 1%.
Yeah,
May not be many dollars, but it all helps.
sure.
I move for
Go ahead.
first reading by title only of bill number 2015-51.
Councilman Miller,
Yes.
Chairman Pro Tem Williams,
Yes.
Councilman Nichols,
Yes.
Councilman Lush,
Yes.
Mayor Miller,
Yes.
Bill number 2015-51, an ordinance amending Chapter 14, Article 3, Division 4, Section 14-123 of the Mexico City Code relating to sanitary sewer use charge. I move for second reading by title only of bill number 2015-51.
Second.
Councilman Miller,
Yes.
Chairman Pro Tem Williams,
Yes.
Councilman Nichols,
Yes.
Councilman Lush,
Yes.
Mayor Miller,
Yes.
Bill number 2015-51, an ordinance amending Chapter 14, Article 3, Division 4, Section 14-123 of the Mexico City Code relating to sanitary sewer use charge. I move for passage of bill number 2015-51.
Second.
Councilman Miller,
Yes.
Chairman Pro Tem Williams,
Yes.
Councilman Nichols,
Yes.
Councilman Lush,
Yes.
Mayor Miller,
Yes. Next item under new business resolution, bill number 2015-52, a resolution authorizing the city manager to sign a storage lease with Pete Brenner. Reading and passage. Mr. Haynes.
Okay, on this basic renewal of a lease with a little bit of change as far as who participates in it, we will ask Russell Runge, our Economic Development Assistant Manager, to go over the details.
Right, these hangars are the aging structures that are at the airport just off of Highway 54. Their current location doesn't allow them to be used as hangars, and for years we've leased them. Mr. Witherall and Mr. Renner had both leased this current unit. Mr. Witherall does not consider to want to continue with that, so Mr. Renner will be leasing it. Assuming approval, that will be at $40 a month.
How many of these do we have?
There's like 8 out there.
That's the old building.
The old metal building.
Yeah.
It's on the west side of the...
How big are they?
Not very big.
Oh.
They're not in very good shape.
They're old T hangars.
I'll make a motion to read bill number 2015-52.
Second.
Councilman Miller,
Yes.
Chairman Pro Tem Williams,
Yes.
Councilman Nichols,
Yes.
Councilman Lush,
Yes.
Mayor Miller,
Yes.
Bill number 2015-52, a resolution authorizing the city manager to sign a storage lease with Pete Renner. Whereas the Mexico Memorial Airport currently rents a storage hangar to Robert Witherall and Pete Renner, and whereas due to Witherall moving and Pete Renner continuing to rent the hangar, an updated storage lease is necessary to bring the city's records up to date. Now therefore be it resolved by the Council of the City of Mexico, Missouri as follows. Section 1, that the city manager be authorized to enter into a storage lease on behalf of the City of Mexico with Pete Renner. Section 2, this resolution should be full force and effect from after its final passage. I move for passage of bill number 2015-52.
Second.
Councilman Miller,
Yes.
Chairman Pro Tem Williams,
Yes.
Councilman Nichols,
Yes.
Councilman Lush,
Yes.
Mayor Miller,
Yes. Next item, bill number 2015-53, a resolution authorizing the city manager to execute agreements with various organizations for requested funding from the Mexico tourism tax. Reading and passage. Mr. Haynes?
Thank you. The City of Mexico currently has a tourism tax that is collected by the hotels and motels within the city limits. The attached resolution authorizes the city manager to execute agreements with various organizations to receive tourism funding for advertising campaigns. The Mexico Tourism Commission has reviewed 3 applications and recommends to the Mexico City Council the distribution of funds as follows. For the Missouri Life magazine, for the 2015-16 advertising campaign, $11,000. For the Mexico Area Chamber of Commerce, for the 2015 Holiday Express, also known by some as the Santa Train. Advertising amount requested was $2,000. The amount recommended is $2,000. Presser Performing Arts Center, for the 2015 holiday production of Mary Poppins, which would be December 3rd through December 6th, requested $4,200. The amount recommended by the Tourism Commission is $3,000. As a little background on each of these, Missouri Life, again, this particular magazine, which we advertise as many tourism opportunities that are taking place in our community as possible. We were provided a contract with them in 2015, and that was for $10,434. In 2014, it was $11,960. So the amount that we are spending is in the ballpark of the 2 prior years. For the Mexico Area Chamber of Commerce on the Holiday Express, that comes through town every 2 years. We allocated $2,000 back in 2012, again $2,000 in 2014, and that is approximately what they have spent during those years in putting on that event. Presser Performing Arts, they were funded back in 2014, $1,000. This last year, in 2015, $3,000, and again, they're looking at $3,000 as a recommended amount. Staff recommends that council concur with the Mexico Tourism Commission's recommendation and proceed with reading and passage of the attached resolution, and I'll be glad to answer any questions you may have.
I move for the reading of Bill number 2015-53.
Second.
Councilman Miller,
Yes.
Chairman Pro Tem Williams,
Yes.
Councilman Nichols,
Yes.
Councilman Lush,
Yes.
Mayor Miller,
Yes.
Okay, I make a motion for the passage of Bill 2000.
You had to read it first.
Read it, okay. So seldom does it get down to my end of the table, I don't get it. Okay, Bill number 2015-53, a resolution authorizing the city manager to execute agreement with various organizations for requested funding from the Mexico tourism tax. Whereas the Mexico Tourism Commission recommends to the city council that Missouri Life, Mexico Chamber of Commerce, Presser Hall Performing Arts Center be allowed to receive tourism funds for their tourism advertising campaign. Now therefore be it resolved by the council of the city of Mexico, Missouri as follows. Section 1, that the city manager be authorized to enter into an agreement on behalf of the city of Mexico with Missouri Life, Mexico Chamber of Commerce, and Presser Performing Arts Center for tourism funding. Section 2, the resolution shall be in full force and effect from and after the time of passage. I move for the passage of Bill 2015-53.
Second.
Councilman Miller,
Yes.
Chairman Pro Tem Williams,
Yes.
Councilman Nichols,
Yes.
Councilman Lush,
Yes.
Mayor Miller,
Yes. Next item on the agenda is the claims.
Make a motion to pay the bill.
Second.
Councilman Miller,
Yes.
Chairman Pro Tem Williams,
Yes.
Councilman Nichols,
Yes.
Councilman Lush,
Yes.
Mayor Miller,
Yes. Now it's time for comments, first from the council. Councilman Lush?
Well, I want to congratulate our Public Safety Chief, Susan Rocket, on her appointment to the Medal Valor Review Board. And I think that's quite an honor, and I'm sure you'll serve, represent Mexico with high honors there. Thank you. Also, we had a wonderful event over the weekend and saw lots of visitors from all over to come to Mexico for Walk Back in Time, and I thought that was a very successful event, something that is funded by our tourism tax, so I thought that's a good event. That's all I have.
Thank you, sir. Councilman Williams?
I'd just like to say thanks to everybody that put in a lot of effort on the Walk Back in Time. I know the city and put in some effort to help with that. So thanks for that. And it is a wonderful event. It draws a lot of people in the community that otherwise wouldn't be here. So good job on that. That's all I got.
Councilman Nichols?
Also like to congratulate Chief Rocket. How did the drug pickup go?
Over 150 pounds.
150 pounds. That's
Pretty good.
What's good?
That's good. A lot better than disposing of other ways. I haven't been here since the truck and tractor pull, so I will put my 2 cents in on that. That was a very, very good thing. A lot of people out there, young farmers. Walk Back Time went good. And I really feel bad about missing the meetings. I'm about to quit working one of these days. Yeah, it's all yours.
Councilman Miller?
Well, everybody's already said, but nice that you got appointed. It's nice to see Mexico in the limelight. And I drove a taxi at the Walk Back in Time and picked up a lot of trash. And it was a great event. There was a lot of people there and a lot of trash, so I assume there was a lot of people there. It was a great deal. Just another great day in Mexico, Missouri.
Mr. Haynes?
I do want to note and thank the Missouri Military Academy. They will be contributing several MMA cadets this week to help with some parks projects and also out at the animal shelter.
Great.
We do get questions from time to time on how the Huntingfield Bridge projects is coming along. My indication is they'll be pouring the deck this week, given good weather.
It's poured today.
It poured today, fantastic, and they're ahead of schedule by approximately a week
4 to 5 days.
because again, of no rain. Of course, I know we could use some, but let's let it hold off a little while longer to complete that project. And third, something very proud to present to the council, Mayor Miller and council, is the City of Mexico received for the middle class cities the Missouri Municipal League Innovation Award. That was presented last Tuesday in Kansas City. Chad and a group went down to Kansas City to receive the award. Mexico is recognized for a successful effort in putting together a community garden through the partnership and efforts of the Help Center, the University of Missouri Rural Sociology Department, Central Missouri Community Action, Audrain Masters Gardeners, Mexico Parks, the Mexico Housing Authority, the University of Missouri Extension, and other interested citizens of the community. The community garden was a free program at Martin Luther King Park, which people were able to grow fresh vegetables for themselves or for the benefit of the Help Center. In serving on this selection committee some years ago with MML, I can tell you there are a lot of applications, and the committee goes through a lot of really good, innovative ideas and programs. This one certainly met all the criteria as far as being a low-cost program, sustainable, getting partnerships and community involvement, and being a program that other municipalities can start up themselves. So, present this to the mayor.
Sorry.
That's all I have.
Well, first of all, thank you. Chad, thank you for all your hard work, and thanks to the groups that made this award possible. I accept it for the council and for the citizens of Mexico. We appreciate it. I did go over to the Walk Back in Time Saturday, and parking was backed up past Centennial Baptist Church. Now, that'll give you a little bit of an idea of Breckenridge and all the way up West Street. There were a lot of folks there.
Did you get a ride?
No. I attended today, as did Chief Rocket, a little memorial service at the Sheriff's Department for the raising of the flag from half-mast back to full-mast. It had been done in memory of Trooper James Bava. It was a very moving experience. It was a very nice experience. I think the chief would agree with me on that. And I think we were well represented there. And there was probably about 100 people there. That was early in the morning. So I thought it was real good and real moving. I believe that's all the comments that I have. Do any members of the public have any comments they'd like to make? If you do, we'll ask that you step up to the podium, state your name and address, and if you can, please limit your comments to about 3 minutes. Now, yeah.
Good evening, gentlemen. My name's Carolyn Savita, S-V-E-D-A. I live at 1503 North Park here in Mexico. On August 29th, at early morning, 12:43, a series of gunfire in our neighborhood. A poor tree got it. Bullet went through a car door and through our neighbor's bedroom wall. We were very afraid at first, but now we're angry. We have formed a group, a neighborhood watch group. We have bought signs. Mr. here has put up signs for us. I have talked to him. We've got a little bit of a complaint because they're put on the wrong side of the street where they're not real visible, but he said that he would correct that for us. We need a little help to help ourselves. Our area there is very dark. We would like to see about getting some adequate lighting there. There is so much traffic. We have more traffic on North Park than in Jefferson does. Between the trailer park and all the drug activity, and they fly down through that street way over 30 miles an hour. We would really like to see the speed limit set at 25 to protect our children.
Is that,
Anybody else want to say anything? Yeah. We don't know what to do. We need help.
okay. You've raised several issues, the lighting, the speeding. I assume, Mr. Haynes, if we could look at that and see if additional lighting is appropriate, street lights or whatever.
We certainly can.
All the lights there aren't working.
They're not working?
I don't, that's what I want to know.
I would
Are they
like-
working? The lights that are there?
Or there is one on one intersection where there's a tree like growing into the light. It's really off.
Yeah.
Light, that's really
Very dark. I would like to commend our chief of police. When the incident happened, the police was there in less than 1 minute. When we formed our group, I requested a police officer come to talk because we don't know what we could do and what we couldn't. We were very impressed with this gentleman. He answered our questions. He made us feel very at ease.
Good.
But we're tired of the situation out there. Actually, one person is causing our problem, Ed Crawley. He's the one that's renting these 2 houses to people that either deal drugs or use drugs. And what can we do?
Well,
Can he be made accountable?
You're asking questions that I don't think I can answer at this time, but I would suggest that you or members of your group meet with Chief Rocket, give her all the information that you have, names and locations and so forth, and that can be investigated.
Yeah, I have also been giving information to Matt Olin, Deputy Sheriff,
Okay.
who works with the
Oliver.
Drug Task Force. I mean, we're doing the best that we know what to do.
Well, it sounds like you are, yes.
Yeah, we just would like a little help to help ourselves.
Well, we have facilities in the city of Mexico to handle many of these things. We'll have to just look at it, take the issues one at a time and see what we can do with them.
But I think all neighborhoods, they have to band together. They're going to have to because the problem just gets worse and worse.
Well, the police
Until-
need your help.
Right, and we're willing to do that.
Right. We need for you to be not only willing to give us information, but to sign your name on the dotted line if you need to.
Oh, yeah.
Appear in court, testify,
Yeah.
the whole thing. That's
Yeah.
citizens' responsibility.
I have no problem with that. I mean, my landlord made the statement to me tonight that he didn't know that I had the gumption to talk with the TV people, but I did, you know? I didn't want it swept underneath the rug. We need help out there, and we're willing to help how we can.
We walk on the rugs up here, madam. We don't sweep anything under.
Thank you. I thank you for your time.
Thank you for your comments. And thank those of you with the lady for appearing up here tonight. Are there any other comments?
Okay.
All right. Seeing no other comments, or hearing no other comments, I move for adjournment.
Second.
Councilman Miller? Chairman Pro Tem Williams?
Yes.
Councilman Nichols?
Yes.
Councilman Lash?
Yes.
Mayor Miller?
Yes.